Hi, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. I hope you're well. God bless. Welcome to this number 3, Crazy Talk, episode 3, with your host, the Bipolar Christian. It's me. How you doing? Hope you're all well. So, just keep following track a little bit of what I usually talk about. I'm going to start, though, by saying thank you to everyone who's watched and to everyone who's commented. I've only found, since I came back and started doing videos again, I've only found like 5 people who've commented. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Purple Sky Awakening, the whole Mandela Effect thing, Austin, and David Roberts as well. Thanks for commenting and watching. I hope everything's well with you guys. Hope you're ready for what's coming down the road with the economy and with the dollar losing its value and all the other strangeness that our world is going through. UFO guy, spaceman, and the clean slate tech comment, really excellent. Thank you for that input. Dude, said clean slate tech. I like that term. I've never heard it before. And then to newer account, asked about Bitcoin. Where I stand on Bitcoin. Well, I don't trust Bitcoin one bit. I think Bitcoin it serves a number of purposes, just like spraying the sky, atmospheric aerosol injections, or whatever you want to call that Harvard is up to, and the CIA and all the other nefarious government agencies and institutes. But I think Bitcoin is one of their last bits of sleight of hand, especially in the financial field. I think that no matter what they say about it, I don't understand how anybody thinks that, like, how do I have any control over it? Okay, I have no control over the servers that process the information and hold the data. I don't have any control over whether or not my passcode, no matter how intricate it might be, will be received by the other end. I don't know if there will be software updates that end up restricting one kind of cryptocurrency and allowing others. I don't know where the financial regulations will come down when governments start regulating the cryptocurrencies. I don't see how having it totally digital gives you any control or assurance at all in its safety and accessibility. Depends too much on the electric grid. And it also opens the door to allowing yourself to accept more invasive technologies like microchip implants and what have you. So I think Bitcoin is just another step down the road away from our natural way of existing. I think we've become detached from the earth and from the energies that can be harnessed from it. And well, look, I get off track. Sorry. I think Bitcoin is a sleight of hand. I think it's one of the last cards in their deck of tricks. So this is what I trust in as far as purchasing power. This is what I save my money with: is physical silver. I just bought a few ounces today. And the thing about it is, like, I was never good on holding on to cash, so that's basically why I started getting into silver. And you get all sorts of neat collectible pieces and stuff, like animals and commemorative, honor our troops. I don't condone war. I don't like war. It's all awful. Like, my dad was a vet, and I've seen what it does to them. I serve when they come home, and I've seen how we've treated I don't condone war, but I salute the troops. The sacrifice that these people are making, and many of them are altruistic, many of them are not, many of them are very awful, and that's how things have gotten out of control. So I don't believe in Bitcoin. I don't think it's safe, and I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not rich. I haven't made a killing doing anything. I haven't made a vast fortune doing anything, I should say. But so my take is this. So basically, if you're about minimum wage or so, say you're like $40,000 or less a year, $40 a week, get a couple ounces of silver right now, and then set that aside. And then once you got 4 or 5 ounces of silver, depending on how many people you're preparing for. So just assume, let's say, an ounce per month per person. So if you want to get by for 6 months and you've got 3 people, 18 ounces of silver should be enough, to cash in and get you fuel and food and things to get by. And, start by getting water filters, little bottles that have filters built into their lids or whatever. And then you don't have to stock up on water. If you have a way to filter it, a portable filter, then you have fresh water everywhere you go. And you don't have to lug it around with you. And I recommend buying half ounces. It's the more expensive way to go. I'd say get 5 or 10 ounces of 1 ounce pieces of silver, and American Silver Eagles or the Canadian Maple Leaf. It's a very safe way to go. And then get 5 or 10 ounces that way, and then get some fractional half ounce pieces or 10th ounce pieces. And then once you have a smaller reserve of that, and you have water filter, and you have some freeze-dried foods and stuff, and a little medical kit, and you've plotted things out, like if you live in the city, if you have friends who live on the outskirts or whatever that you can get to, figure that out beforehand, the safest way for you to get there, and walk it. Go through it, and practice it, and rehearse it. Just even quietly by yourself, if you don't have anyone with you with the support, just get ready anyways, and inform who you can, and don't worry, don't panic. If nothing happens, amen, that's great, right? Look, you've got some silver, you're a little bit invested. I consider this like a safe haven. I consider this preserving my purchasing power in case of a worst case scenario, but I also look at it as savings, because I can't hold on to cash. I've been able to put away a lot more in the form of silver than I ever would have in dollars. And if nothing ever happens, if things tick along like normal, there's just a dip in the stock market and things chug along, hey, amen. I believe silver is going to go up anyways. So win-win with that purchase. Moving on. Thank you. Been rambling a little bit. But the stock market is consistently down. It hasn't recovered yet. I think it was down again 400 points today. Monday, the 12th, I think, August 2019, as far as I know. Moving forward, so look, silver, I don't trust Bitcoin one bit, and I had to pause it there for a second. I really drew a blank, and just the crop reports are coming out from the IFCC or the USDA crop report. Anyways, it's bad, and the UN is starting to jump on it, and they're starting to reassert the whole global warming thing, climate change. And there is climate change taking place, but they say greenhouse gases, but check it out. Look, plants all grow better in a greenhouse environment. All vegetables, all trees, everything grows better in a greenhouse environment. They've somehow taken what for so long has been common knowledge, and they've managed to convince us of a lie, that the opposite is true. A greenhouse environment is healthier for plants. The trees and the vegetables, they eat the CO2, man, and they convert it into oxygen. They spit it back out. It creates a richer environment, creates more robust plant life. They've somehow convinced us the opposite is true. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And there are lots of scientists, lots of people who are aware that it isn't true. People have put their careers on the line, and they've been slandered, and thousands of people have, scientists and researchers and climatologists and so on and so forth, have signed a petition to have the whole global warming thing changed, reversed. There's even a lawsuit was put out against NASA recently concerning some of the data that they have about using very fixed and absolute terms on the cause of and weather change and the direction of that it's going. So there's a lot of people out there that understand, but somehow all the avenues of communication and advertisement and media and whatever, and of declaring what people see to be true, all those are controlled somehow by one side. By one side. I think that if you listen to Dave Hodges on the Common Sense Show, he did a broadcast once. He covered that. It was in 1996. Bill Clinton repealed a law that had been in place for a long time that made it so that if you owned a newspaper, you couldn't also own a radio station or a TV station. You could only own the newspaper. And if you had a radio station, you couldn't have a station in any other venue of broadcasting. That kept monopolies from being able to creep in. That was a huge wall against monopolies being able to develop in media and broadcasting. Thank you, Bill Clinton. Moving forward, look, speaking of the Clintons, Jeffrey Epstein, the whole thing it's true, it's dipped in truth, but it's to keep you distracted. It's to keep you wondering, especially the way the media channels broadcast and cover the issues. It's all nonsense. They just talk in circles. It takes them 15 minutes to go over 2 minutes of information because they really want to convince you of their point of view. And it's just mind-numbing. It's all a charade. The whole thing, nothing's going to happen. If nothing happens, Trump, you lose your base. I think y'all need to become sovereign individuals, sovereign communities, sovereign households, and the government's not coming to save us. Food is going to get expensive. Portions are going to get smaller. Check out Adapt 2030 and Mini Ice Age Conversations, MIAC, MIAC. Climate Revolution is a book that David Dubine wrote. He's the guy who runs the channel Adapt 2030. Great information. Climate change everywhere. It wasn't that hot of a summer at all in my corner of the world. And in my last video, I went over the record colds in a variety of countries, in a number of countries, and the volcanic activity that's going on around the world, specifically the Rim of Fire, is contributing very much. And so dude, it's just time. Everything's coming to a head. It's the tipping point. They've lost control of the markets. Food is going to become a scarcity everywhere in the world. Shipping is down. The markets, governments are stockpiling gold. Banks are stockpiling gold. Here we go. Mandela effect or not, I think every any shifts in reality, there's not any huge pronounced difference between the goings-on, whatever the Mandela effect is, exactly. I believe the general course of things is set, and there won't be a flux in reality big enough to make it better. If there is a massive flux in reality and some big changes take place, I'm of the inkling it will be for the worse. I'm always okay with being wrong. Very pessimistic. Anyways, buy silver while it's still cheap because it's going to go up. It's held its own. They haven't pushed it back down, which means they're still keeping it cheap so they can buy it hella cheap. It's the second round of wealth confiscation. The first time in the 30s when FDR did it, they repatriated all the gold and silver. This was money up until then. This was like dollar bills and so on. But they said, nah, you got to have the paper money. And then they changed it. Just right after they made a lot of people make the switch, they changed it back. They reneged. That's a word. It's not a racial slur either or term at all. But now the only way for them to have such a wealth confiscation on that scale again is to reverse it, is to make the paper money worthless and make this money again, which is what I think they're trying to do. So, just a guy trying to figure it out and get ready as he sees fit, in the best way that I can. God bless y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I hope life is treating you good, and just hope for the best. God bless y'all. Thank you.